Now, I want us to talk about independence. Okay, I want us to really dive deep into that word independence, because that's another issue with young people now, especially in their teens, late teens, and early 20s. Did you ever crave independence? Even at the time when independence was not really a thing, did you ever crave independence? Were you limited by your options based on the societal expectations at the time? Did you crave independence?
No. So I don't think that this generation is asking for too much. If I have a chance to live on my own, if you call me and you start talking about my dad, I'll hang up and I'll not pick your call anymore. But then I have to deal with you every day because I still live under you.
Yeah.
So that made me crave independence a lot. I wanted to make money and spend it on myself. I was just tired. So it made me really want independence. And the first opportunity I got to leave home, I took it. I didn't even think about it. I took that chance. I took a leap of faith and I left home.
For me, I think it wasn't that bad for me. Like I think I was independent. I would say that I gained, or we were given the liberty for independence quite early in my home. So after uni, I didn't even go back home to say I want to sit down at home. I moved, I stayed back in Abuja, and I didn't even go back to stay with family. I stayed with my friend who also got independence from home, and we were like together. So I didn't even, like, nobody questioned it. Just make sure you're alive and they can contact you and they know where you are, and they can see you when they want to see you. That was it. So I didn't really crave that independence. It was just, so that wasn't the case for me. So since you wanted that independence for yourself, and our parents at the time, things are changing now, because I think that these young adults, these people in their 20s now, I think one of the pressures they also face, some of them, is the pressures from home to be like their mates, right? See, your mate has moved out of the house, when are you moving out, something like that. So I think things are changing, but at the time we were in our 20s, our parents were not comfortable with us moving out. I remember even this YouTuber Dima Ume, she said she had to like fight for her independence. So tell me, in your own case, did you have to? Oh, I think you said you wanted it, but did you really fight for it? Like, how did you get it? Tell us how you got it. Were your parents free? Did they just give it freely? And were you prepared for it? Do you think you were prepared for that independence?
Okay, so will I say I fought for it? So even at the time, I didn't realize as much that that was my gateway to my independence. I just thought, because okay, so what handed over the independence to me was, I was just surfing the net randomly one day, and then I saw one of the one of the big four accounting companies was they advertised for a training. I knew there was no money; they were not going to pay me any. But at the time, I'd been at home for 6 months. I didn't have a job, and I was like, okay, it's better than doing nothing. Let me just apply. And I applied randomly. I got called to come for the training. The training was just for 4 months. But I was very optimistic that after this training, I'm going to get a job. I thought, okay, maybe the big four, one of the big four, they'll give me a job. If they don't give me a job, I'll get a job with another one. And if I don't get with another one, I've heard that there are a lot of opportunities in Lagos.
Yeah.
I know that I'll get a job. So let me just leave. So, and I was supposed to leave the following day, because the training was going to start on, so let's say they called me on the 30th of September and I was supposed to resume on the 2nd of October.
Yeah.
So I just walked to my dad's room and I just told him, I just got something in Lagos. I have to go to Lagos tomorrow. He didn't even think that was him giving me independence anyway. He just thought, oh, okay now, take money now. And then the following day, I left for Lagos. He didn't think that that was me leaving. He didn't think that it was independence he was handing over to me at the time. And that was how I got my chance to be home. I came to Lagos, stayed with my uncle for like 4 months. Then after the training, I got a job like a week or two after the training. And that was how I started staying on my own. Was I prepared for the independence? Hell no. I wasn't in any way prepared for the independence. I've never really had a chance to live alone, because even in the uni that we stayed off campus, We were still living together. I had you.
Yeah.
We had our other friends.
Yeah.
But coming to Lagos and leaving my uncle's house, getting a house, because then my uncle was staying on the island. I got a job on the mainland. They were on too far, and it was really difficult for me to go to work and get back every day. So I really wanted somewhere close to my office. And then I was working late. I used to go to work early because we resume at 7 in my office, and then we close at 4. But I don't even get to close at 4. Most of the time I close sometime by 9 p.m. Then going back to the island at that time was pretty difficult.
Yeah.
I didn't even think it was. Yes, I wanted independence, but even when I was living with my uncle, I feel like I had a level of independence. But then I just felt this is too far from me. I cannot continue. I'm going to get this. So about the 5th month or 6th month thereabouts, I moved out of the house and got a place in Lagos. And I was not prepared. There were days I would cry myself to sleep because of loneliness. Like sometimes I just want to rant about my frustration. Yeah, I would call Yemi sometimes, we would talk for 2 hours. It just was not enough that I had somebody online to talk to. I wanted company, like real life company. I wanted to gist. I wanted, but I didn't have all that. I wasn't prepared mentally,
Yeah.
emotionally for the independence.
Mm-hmm.
And then there were bills to pay. Like when I was staying in my father's house, or even when I was staying with my uncle, I wasn't bothered about bills. Maybe once in a while I could just buy snack for the children or see something on my way and bring it home. But I wasn't obligated to. It was just things I would do randomly. But then now I live by myself. When you are sick, when I am sick, I only would call that I'm not feeling too well. Go to the hospital. I go just get my drugs. Nobody will persuade you to take your drugs. You will get out of bed. You will crawl to the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
You will make food for yourself. You will persuade yourself to eat the food.
Mm-hmm.
You will then eat and then take your medication, sleep, wake up. There was a day I almost collapsed from the gym. Like I went to work out and it was just too much for me. Like I overstretched myself. And the guy was telling me, continue, continue, continue. At a point I could barely hear what he was saying. So I just walked away. Like from that gym, I just left. I didn't even say anything to him. I just left and went home. Do you know that when I got home, I was so tired. I was so tired. That day, I really wished that I had someone around. At least I wish that my parents were around or my sibling or something. But then I was alone. I know that independence does not mean that you have to be lonely. But then I wasn't prepared psychologically for that part. I just thought it would be rosy. Like I could go out whenever I wanted. I could come back. Nobody's questioning me.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody would ask me where are you coming from. If I like, I'll come in the dead of the night. Nobody's asking me any questions. But if there was more than just having time to myself.
Yeah.
There was the emotional part. There was the bills they would call to ask me for. Those being dues or DSTV expired. I have to subscribe on my DSTV. There were a lot of things. There were just too many bills to pay. There was a day they came for tenement rates that we had to pay tenement rates. And I was like, what is all this? What is all this?
Yeah.
But with independence comes bills. Adulting is difficult. Nobody will tell you.
Yeah.
But it is difficult. So if you have a chance to stay longer, when you are not paying bills, please, by all means, don't allow anybody pressure you. People will say, I see a lot of posts online. If you are 25 and still living under your parents' roof, if you are this and this, who designed the rule? Who designed the rule?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Design the rules.
That's true. So yes, I like what you said about independence, because a lot of people crave independence now. And like I said, for me, I didn't have to crave it because if I wanted it, it was available. I think that's another reason why a lot of young people crave independence now. It wasn't available. It was something that you have to fight for. But well, that's like the African society. It's something that you have to fight for. Our parents feel responsible for us till the very, like, especially as ladies, and even the society treats us that way, because sometimes you see a young lady going to rent an apartment for herself and they're asking her to go and bring her boyfriend or to go and bring her husband, things like that. So
in fact, I had a personal experience when I was trying to get a place, and I met this landlord, and he said, "Oh, okay, I'm a lady. Okay, first of all, there was no kitchen in the house. And I was like, why is there no kitchen? He said that he had actually thought he was going to take a guy. He didn't want a lady in the house. He wanted a guy that would not.
Imagine.
I was like, okay, me, I'll cook. He said, okay, I should not worry. They will fix something for me. They will create like an extension. I really like the environment because it's a very, very security-proof environment.
Imagine.
The next thing he goes, if you are going to take this house, you need to introduce your boyfriend to me. I need to meet him. And he's the only guy that can come and look for you. Then he started creating rules. I could not come back later than 10 p.m. I could not bring any friend. If I'm going to have my family over, maybe my sister cannot stay with me more than a week. I need to let them know in advance. And I know that if they were giving a guy this house, they would not have all this rules.
They won't.
I also know what good radiance to bad rubbish. Take your house.
They won't. Those are the issues that make it really complicated for a lady to say you want independence. Sometimes it's not even it could also be that like I said, your parents are not ready to let you go. They just want it to be that, okay, when they are releasing you, they're releasing you into your husband's house, like you're moving from their house, their care, to the care of another man. And society also expects that is the way it is. And another thing is that, at that age that you are craving for independence, they are assuming that you should be married. Everybody's looking at you like, why don't you have a relationship? There's also that pressure there. And at the same time, these young adults, they want to live their life. They want to, So something else I wanted to ask you about, that is, relationships, and most times the focus is so much on dating your boyfriend and all, but I think that the most important relationship at that time is friendship. For me, I think that's the most important relationship. So did you have any issues? And I know that a lot of young girls find it difficult to have friends, to relate with their female counterparts. Let me put it that way. Maybe for one reason or the other, it's just always like that. What do you just have to say about friendship? Did you have toxic friends? Like, what was the role of friendship or relationships in your life during that?
So I would say that we cannot even underestimate the place of friendship.
Yeah.
And having good friends, because life is already tough to do by yourself.
Yeah.
But then if you have people cheering you on, making you feel like you can do this, this is in you, you have this potential in you, make it go. From time, my friends will say, accountant, like when we're saying something and I'm calculating numbers, and my friend is like, I know, don't worry. One of our friends can even just walk up to me and say, hey, if I do 500 in 50 places, what will I get? Like random, I knew I was going to get the answer when I come to school. So subconsciously, this friend, they help you to even see yourself more than you think of yourself. Yeah. Maybe you are thinking little of yourself. You see somebody that really thinks big of you. It makes you want to do more. It makes you strive for more. Mm-hmm. I have been lucky with good friends in my life. I've not really had, when I hear people, the kind of things that people experience with friendship these days, I'm like, why? Mm-hmm. I don't have friends that will snatch each other's boyfriends or take each other's money. Some people cannot even be sincere with their earnings, with their friends, because maybe I understand that there are some people that you would not be able to be completely open with. But I feel like a lot of things I learned in my 20s, I learned from friends, from people around me. Yeah. They co-raised me with my parents. Maybe my parents did a little, but then a lot of life lessons, things I know, I learned from friends. And I cannot underestimate the place of friendship, of good friends, having the right relationships, having the right people in your cycle, having people that check you on, that look out for you, that look out for opportunities, that will speak when you are not there and say that, no, you're looking for an accountant. My friend, she's very good. Yeah. Even if you're not that good, but they carry your matter on their head, they blow your trumpet, they speak well about you. Those are the kind of people that you should keep. Good relationship, not toxic ones. Yeah. Relationship. They impact your life very, very positive. They did it for me. Like, I still enjoy good friendships. Like, I don't have any bad friends. I have good friends.
I feel the same way too. Yeah, I feel we almost have like the same friends, except for the new friends I'm making now. But
Like,
yeah,
the
I think that's the way I feel about friendship too and relationship, because at that stage of life, you're still very vulnerable and you still have a lot to learn, and you need people to teach you. You need to learn from people's experiences. You need people that you can talk to. It's not I think friendship is a big deal. That's one of the things that I wish that a lot of young people will focus more on, how to build the right friendships, how to build people around you, to connect with people, to build a circle of friends that you guys can learn, grow, and develop together. Because I remember we used to read books together, we used to talk about the future together, we used to dream about things we would do together,
pray
yeah, we
together,
used to pray
fast
together.
together,
Uh-huh.
just
We used to
basically do
fast.
everything together.
Yeah. So there were things that I had to learn by association, by relating with people. There were things that I also knew that, okay, through people, I knew that, okay, this is my area of strength, by relationships. So yes, nobody should do life when you're in your 20s. Aim and
Alone.
look for good relationship, look to build connection with good people. It's not everything that is dating, boyfriend, 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 boyfriend. Friendships, good network, make sure you have that, find a way to balance it all between like just juggle everything.
I wanted to add like that randomly. Let me cut you short. That we would even talk about guys when you meet a guy. It was a big deal that your friends had to accept the guy. Like all of us have to agree because
Yeah.
your opinion matters to me. So when I'm talking about the guy, I'm already speaking about him in a very positive way. And then when you're just cold and you're like, I don't like him.
I
That
remember
already
you. Sorry, I remember you particularly have this thing. You have this issue that, especially when you know how to snatch somebody's friend. Like if somebody they automatically become your best friend. Like if my boyfriend just becomes your friend, like you just know how to. Another of my friend will become your friend. I don't understand. Can't you
and
see
that's
your
because
lane?
I'm a good person.
Can't you
Accept
see
it.
your lane?
I'm a good person.
Yeah, I remember that. It was quite interesting. And it's also a good thing, because sometimes you are blindly in love with somebody.
Yeah.
But your friends will see the
But then
thing
there's
you're
a
not
check.
seeing. Mhm.
There's a check.
Because I remember that.
Somebody's checking.
I remember that a lot. That you want to just agree for one guy, you just want to date him and be like, say that guy. But sometimes you still want to do strong head, you go ahead. But it's not like your friends did not tell you. You know that, yeah, those are the kind of relationships we are talking about. That you have people, and even when you learn your lesson in that relationship, they'll still say, "Oh yeah, come, yeah,
You
yeah,
come back home.
just come back,
Yeah.
okay," and then we'll just continue like that. And yeah, it was really cool. I remember, no, friendship is another topic that I really, really want to discuss, because it's one of those things that people don't focus so much. There's a lot of videos, there's a lot of information about toxic friendship, blah blah blah, and there's not enough information
Just
on
talk
the
about
power
good
of
friends.
friendship and how to actually get the best out of friendship. I think I made a video on that when I newly
Yeah.
started the channel, on how to get the best out of friendship, because so far I don't think I have any issue on that. Okay, so what would you tell a young person who is under pressure? Maybe a 20-year-old young lady, a 19-year-old young lady, a 21-year-old, just a young lady in her teens or early 20s who is under pressure to make it, under so much pressure. They are just really down, feeling like they are left out, feeling lost. What would you say to that person based on your own experience or what you know now? What would you say?
I think the first thing would be, first of all, find yourself. Find yourself. Be self-aware. Because that way nobody can take advantage of you.
Yeah.
When you are clear about your goals, you are clear about who you are. That's the first step. It helps you. Maybe you need to do some more research to be clear about that. But then it's quite important that you are clear about your goal early on.
Yeah.
And once you are clear about it, you need to develop a strategy, a roadmap to take you there. Don't allow distractions, because distractions are going to come. I promise you. Whatever is happening around you, don't tie it to your age.
Yeah.
So some of the mistakes we young people make is to tell ourselves that by 25, I'll graduate, I'll get a job, I would have made my first 10. Then by the time I'm 30, be married, 4 kids. What if you marry and fertility steps in, and
Yeah.
then 10 years you can't have a child?
Mhm.
But because you've tied it to age that I must achieve this at this age. This is not to say that we should not set target. Yes, you should set target, but set it, use milestones, design milestones for yourself, success milestones, not age milestones that at 22.
I love
Because
that. I
I feel
love
like
that.
sometimes that is what pressures us. When you tell yourself that 22, I must be rich.
Yeah.
At 22, when you're not rich, you feel like a failure. Forgetting that you that you're 22 and you're not rich, you know that you want to be, for example, a medical doctor. You're in medical school. Maybe you're in your final year in medical school. When you graduate, you already want to. Maybe there was a strike action in school that made you spend extra 2 years. You should have graduated at 20. You're graduating at 22. But you already feel like a failure because you have told yourself that at 22 you must be rich.
Yeah.
You are not rich at 22. But are you clear about your goals? Are you clear? Are you focused on where you are going? You are.
Yeah.
What you should never be doing, what you should never be caught doing is doing nothing.
Yeah.
Or be mediocre, or just dragging your feet, just doing things at your own convenience. Don't become complacent, just doing things in your comfort zone and just be there. But as far as you wake up every day, you have a goal, you have developed strategy, you are doing your best. You know every day. When you go to bed, you convince yourself that today I gave it my all, I did my best. Forget the distractions. Forget what anybody is saying. Forget the pressure. In fact, if you are taking the pressure, take the good pressure and use it to push yourself. Focus. Follow your own strategy. Don't chase after what other people are doing.
Yeah.
Because you see some people, today, I want to open a salon. Salon, that's where there's money now. She open salon. As she's doing it, she'll do it for maybe 2 months. You say, salon business is not even working. I think I want to be selling forever living products. You go and take your money and go and buy forever. You said today nobody is buying. Like, I don't want to sell it forever again.
Next, you want to be an Instagram influencer.
I want to be an influencer. I've seen that this influencing people make money from it. You don't even know what you want. So it starts from you knowing what you want, taking the necessary steps to get there.
Yeah.
And you convince yourself every day that I did my best.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much the summary of everything I have to say.
There's something you said that I really, really want to emphasize and really highlight, that you know, if you're in your 20s, if you're young, you shouldn't set age milestone. You should set success milestone. So instead of saying I should make money by 30, or instead of saying I should have a house by 30, just list out the things that you want to do, the things you want to achieve, and set success milestones. So this is how I want my life to be. I would need a car. I would need a house by so time. The first thing I need to get is a house before I get a car, or maybe I need to get a car first. So you work towards, find the resources, get information on how to get that car. When you achieve that, put in your energy, you achieve that, then you move to the next success milestones instead of age milestone. It's a very powerful one, you know. And I really don't have much to say for anyone who is young. I think probably what I'll just add is, don't allow this pressure get to you. Don't allow independence to get to you. As we've said, independence is not all rosy. The people we see in Western countries who gain independence early on, the system, the society, their parents prepares them for that independence. Is like something that is part of their culture. It isn't part of our own culture. It's just something that we are starting to adopt, and it will take time to register into the system. For me, I graduated early, and I wasn't able to start making money. The millions have never started rolling in. I've not started making the millions, and I've not killed myself. I'm going to be 30 this year, and I've not killed myself. And again, I got married before you, right? I started having kids before you. Now I have 2 children. Now you have 2 children. She recently just had a baby. Now she has 2 children. She's married. I'm married, 2 children. Is it by who started or who hit that milestone first? But it's a success milestone. You have gotten there. Man proposes, God has the final decision. So you don't need to put yourself down. Don't focus so much on what you have not achieved, and then it will limit you from moving forward. Focus on what you can achieve. Focus on the potentials you have to get it.
I really like this last point you talked about.
Yeah.
The fact that our timing is different.
Yeah.
And that's something that people really need to learn.
Yeah.
That the time is different, really. And there's no competition.
There's no competition.
There's no competition. It's fine.
Yeah, that's it.
Thank you so much for having me on your channel.
Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for joining me. But you did not even tell us how old you are now, because now you're forming and you're making millions. You did not tell us how much you're making.
Oh.
Okay, how old did you even become a millionaire? How old did you become a millionaire?
I made my million at 26.
You made your first million at 26. So do you know, by the standard of this generation, you're even late?
I'm late now.
You're late.
I'm late, so I tell out of this generation.
But
because you have people that are just 20 and they're already. I have colleagues that are way younger than me and they even earn more than me.
And so, in our own generation, you're even early. Do you know?
Yes.
You're early.
No, for some,
yeah, people. I know. But like the average, on the average, you're early. But now you're even late. And that's because, opportunities are more now than back in the day. Somebody can just be a YouTuber and make millions. In those days,
somebody will not even lift a finger and the person would make millions.
Yeah, that's easier now than in those days.
So now I just want to make millions in pound sterling and
girl, give me a high five. Give me.
This Naira has really devalued that.
Yes. So you want to upgrade. Not upgrade. That's expensive. We have never made it in Naira. I've not made my million yet. I'm still waiting. Some people are already upgrading. I think I need to take myself seriously. I need to
don't be telling us that. We don't believe you. We do not believe you, but it's okay. Let's not have that conversation here.
I need to take myself seriously now. But anyway, thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for joining the Girl Chat today. I'm so excited that you were able to.
I hope to come back again.
I hope so. You're the busy woman. Your schedule is so tight. You're busy. So thank you so much for coming. Thank you for joining me. And that's all for today's video. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Thank you for your time. Till next time. You guys are amazing and I love you all. Bye. Say bye-bye to Mike.
Bye, people.